Hey guys, welcome back to another one of CCA's interview, which is part of our outreach series. For those who don't know, my name is Aaliyah. I am a CCA intern and a graduate from St. Peter's University, located in Jersey City, New Jersey, where I recently received my bachelor's in biology. I too was born with a facial difference called golden heart syndrome that came with a long road of surgeries, therapies, and a lot of rehabilitation. But as you guys already know, it never stopped me from achieving any of my goals. So today I am joined with Marissa. Welcome, Marissa.
Hello, thank you.
It is a pleasure to have you on our series. Thank you for joining and sharing your time with us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So, if Marissa, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your professional background.
Sure. So I'm Dr. Marissa Koven March. I'm a pediatric psychologist. I just finished up my fellowship at Nemours Children's Health, and I'll be starting a job as a consultation liaison psychologist at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital later this year in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh wow. Are you excited? That's so exciting.
I am excited. It's going to be great. It's really nice to kind of be done with all my training and kind of starting my full professional career and building and setting down some roots. It's going to be great.
Wow, that's beautiful. So today, guys, we are here to talk about Cellie the Coping Kit. And it was so cool because there we go, there's Cellie. And I was able to meet Cellie in person at ACPA conference in Denver. And Marissa's here to talk more about Cellie. So my first question is, can you tell us who Cellie is?
Absolutely. So as you can see here, Cellie is a little stuffed doll that is a part of a bigger coping kit
Mhm.
that includes a couple of things. So it has Cellie, this doll that's kind of like a nice comfort tool for kiddos. And then handy dandy inside Cellie's mouth, we have some coping cards. They kind of cover lots of different potential challenges or experiences that kids with craniofacial conditions might go through over the course of childhood. And these cards have different hints and tips of how to cope with these different situations. And the kit also comes with a caregiver booklet as well, which kind of follows in parallel the coping cards to help caregivers and parents learn how to help their children cope through these different situations.
Right. And that's so amazing because growing up, I had no resource. There's always like you said, there's always questions, nonstop questions when we go to team visits or just when they're about to have surgery or anything. So this is a perfect thing. And
Yeah.
Sally's so cute. Like, come on now. Like I could sleep with that. Like, come on
Yeah.
now.
And it's very soft. It's machine washable too. So get your cuddle on.
Exactly. And you could like stuff some like snacks in there and everything.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want in the mouth. You could put the cards, you could put little toys, snacks. I love it.
Exactly. I love that. And what is the story behind Sally being a coping kit?
Yeah. So Cellie, the original Cellie was developed, I think, like over a decade ago by Dr. Meghan Marsac, who's now at Kentucky Children's Hospital, back when she was a fellow at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And
Mhm.
she originally developed a Cellie coping kit for kids with cancer. And I learned about Cellie back in those days when I was working at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia as well. And I learned about the cancer kit, and I thought that it was such a wonderful tool and such a great resource for those kiddos.
Right.
Dr. Marzac has been able to adapt it for a variety of other medical populations, like for kids who have sickle cell disease, eosinophilic esophagitis, for siblings of kids with medical conditions, and a couple other populations too. And as soon as I learned about the Cellie kit, I was like, oh my God, this should be available for all populations. Because, right, every kid going through their medical experiences deserves something like this. And when I was working as an extern at the UI Health Craniofacial Center, the opportunity came up that I could adapt Cellie for our kiddos, working with my supervisor, Dr. Janine Rosenberg, and a wonderful team of folks there. We were able to adapt Cellie and create them for our craniofacial kiddos.
Thank you so much for being an advocate for that. It is so
Yeah.
cool that this Sally originated from CHOP because if you don't know, I go to CHOP and I've done all my surgeries and therapies there.
I
So
did not know that.
yeah, I currently have like a doctor visit coming up in a few more weeks at the Craniofacial Center. But
That's
it's just so
amazing.
cool that you're making Cellie so more adaptable because like you said, it was first originated for cancer patients and
Yeah.
now it's to be for everyone. Like, come on now. Like,
Yeah, no, and that's actually so cool. I like to connect that full circle. I also did my internship at CHOP last year before fellowship, and this was my dissertation project. So I got to present on Cellie back at CHOP. So I got to like bring Cellie back, and got to talk with the psychologist who's in the Craniofacial Center there about it, and she was really excited about it too. So that's really fun that it's like all connected back to the beginning.
that's so amazing. And
Yeah.
what are the benefits of having a Cellie?
So I think there's a lot of benefits of having a Cellie. But I think the two main things are, I think it's a really helpful tool for helping kids and parents and caregivers feel prepared for things that are upcoming, right?
Mhm.
You mentioned your childhood being filled with a ton of procedures, surgeries, doctor's visits. I'm sure many nights staying at the hospital. So I think it's really helpful for helping to prepare for those experiences, and kind of learn about what they're going to be like, and kind of help them to wrap their heads around things that could happen. So some of the cards, for example, talk about like, I just had this surgery or I'm going to have a surgery and what am I going to look like after the surgery? Is that going to be kind of the final look that I'm going to have? So it helps to learn about kind of the healing process and that things change over time, and helping to kind of find acceptance and learning about that.
Yeah.
And then the kit is also, I think, really helpful for those in the moment coping experiences too. So you can actually use it when you're at the doctor's office, right? It has different tips around, hey, I'm at the doctor's office. What do I do? I'm feeling nervous and scared right now. And it helps to encourage communicating with your providers and communicating with your parents, and sharing how you're feeling and asking all the questions that you have. It also kind of covers more broad topics too, like just coping with big feelings, right? Feeling scared, nervous, anxious. I think that happens for a ton of different reasons related to having a craniofacial condition and just being a kiddo as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of has those broad topics as well. So it's really good for both preparing for things, but then also figuring out how to cope kind of in the moment. And then I think one of the really nice things about the kit too is that it has that caregiver set as well. So it's not just helping kiddos to learn how to cope in the moment, but it's helping parents to feel prepared to respond to their kids' questions, to help explain things to their kids, like why do they need to wear gear, and why do they need to have this surgery, and how is that going to go? So I think it's a really helpful preparation and in the moment kind of coping tool.
You're absolutely correct. And you're so real for that because, like, a lot of these parents, deal with their child just asking questions and not knowing the answer, which is so fine. And it's
Yeah,
so fine.
totally.
So it's so cool that we are able to have these cards and, like, the education to teach our children. And sometimes, like, even I still go through surgeries and, therapies and everything myself. And sometimes I have questions myself. I'm
Sure.
20 years old and, I'm still like going into like the surgeries and like you said, like, am I gonna still look the same? Is everything gonna come turn out right? And
Right.
like being 22, I would get a Cellie. I need a Cellie. I still need a Cellie.
I love that. I love that. We did it. Cellie is kind of guided towards kids between like 6 and 12, but it's for all ages too, you know? You can still
Right.
use Cellie when you're in your 20s. I love that.
Silly. But but like you said, like this is very, very important, especially, for all communities, like, within every kid in the hospital, we all go through, why are we here? What's going on? What's happening? And we just need a friend, just someone to talk to, someone to relate to. And so
Yeah.
it's a perfect, friend to, rely on, whether you need comfort, education,
Yeah.
Cellie's right there, guys. So
Exactly. And so it's also like a great tool for like if you want to practice how you're going to answer kids' questions when you go back to school after surgery, or if you need to practice responding to kids who are saying unkind things, right? Like Cellie can be that support tool and that friend that you can kind of practice and build up your confidence so that you feel ready to talk to others too.
exactly. And another thing that I used to do when I was younger, I was very shy and quiet. So I know there's a lot of kids out there that aren't able, like right now, to be vocal, with their questions. So this is so important because, yeah, they're not vocal right now, parents and families, but like at least they have a friend that they can just like, okay, I don't know, let me just go with my Cellie. Let me take out a question. Maybe this I can find some answer in it. And that's
Sure.
I wish I would have had. So it's very, very important that we understand our kids and that we have something that is going to be accessible and
Yes.
inclusive for everyone. So
Yeah. Those are some big goals for the
that,
Cellie.
right. And one last question: where am I able to buy me a Cellie? My own personal Cellie.
I love that question. So the craniofacial kit itself is not, unfortunately, not yet ready for sale, but it will be in hopefully the near future. So you can go to celliecopingcompany.com and you can see all the other Cellies that are there. You could just buy a Cellie, the doll itself right now. But for the craniofacial cards and booklet, those are going to be available a little bit down the line. And another exciting thing is we're actually finishing up the translation of the kit so that we're going to have into Spanish. So we're going to have a bilingual Cellie kit as well, where the coping cards come in English and Spanish, and the caregiver book comes in Spanish, so that our bilingual families can also access and utilize the Cellie. So hopefully in the near future, they'll be available, but you can definitely catch them at celliecopingcompany.com, or you can just look up Dr. Meghan Marsac, and you'll find some links to the Cellie project.
Oh, I absolutely love this. Guys, stay tuned for the Cellie Coping Kit. Thank you so much, Marissa, for providing so much information on Cellie the Coping Kit. And I look forward to purchasing Cellie very, very soon.
Thank you. Let me know what you think of it.
Oh my God, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you today. Chat with you again soon in the future about Cellie.
Thank you. Would love to.
Of course, of course.